to decent times, but this girl's got you on her mind. Something about your walk, talk, smile so bright, kinda something like my kryptonite. I'm not easy, believe me, but I know what I want. It's special, gotta let you know. So let's have some fun. You're staring, I'm daring, I'm so ready to die. Bring your body real close to me, whole lot of romance. What's your fantasy? You and me tonight. Let's let me trace you and me tonight. Rock waves, you and me tonight, baby.
What's up guys? This is your girl Phoenix Novell, and thank you so much for watching this video. This is called Musicians on Gigs Artist Spotlight, and this video covers the topic of how to deal with difficult bandmates. Now, in my latest book, The Traveling Singer Survival Guide, I talk about the different archetypes of characters that you can find in most gigs. Like, there's always a band rat, there's always somebody who's like gossiping and not really trustworthy. There's always a rebel, somebody who just likes to break the rules just because they can. They're usually the most talented person, you know. That's why they take risk that other people probably wouldn't take. You got the person who's like the mama or papa of the band, the person who's more parental than everybody else or maternal than everybody else. And you usually have the spiritual person, or the person who's a little bit more religious. Don't drink, don't smoke, and don't really get into drama. So there's a lot of similar characters that I find as I bounce around in different bands. Over the years, I've been in so many different bands and experienced so many different personalities, and I've kind of like compiled a list in my latest book about them, because you encounter this personality so much that you kind of like start to see, oh, that's how you work with that person, or that's how you deal with that person, or that's how that person is. And you know, and you learn how to not make your experience miserable, because you have to deal with people. You're gonna have to rehearse with them, you're gonna have to, you know, coexist. And why not make it as great of an experience as possible? And the best way to do that, the best way to deal with difficult bandmates, you know, is to observe, okay, and watch their habits, and kind of, before you jump in to try to be all friendly and then you start clashing because you didn't really get a chance to see who they were, you observe their character. You kind of see, okay, this probably isn't the best person for me to do this with, or they got a really quick temper, or I don't like the way that they gossip. Take a minute to kind of see who you're working with. Another thing I advise in my latest book, The Traveling Singer Survival Guide, is to kind of give yourself 3 to 6 weeks to kind of get a feel of each bandmate that you have. And I say, like, when it comes to your band leader or the manager or the musical director, people who are kind of like the center of the group, you really don't want to get too buddy with them. You want to kind of like establish your professionalism first and let your work, you know, be the example of who you are, before you just kind of like try to get too cool, because sometimes getting too cool puts you in a position to hear things that you shouldn't probably hear, say things that you shouldn't probably say, and do things, or sometimes you get too close and you get the wrong impression, and then, you know, you start slacking, and then they call you out and you feel some type of way about it because you thought y'all were cool. So many times I've seen artists go through that. I've also done it myself. So my biggest advice to deal with band leaders is to kind of like figure out how you can help them reach their goals, and how they can help you advance and reach your goals as well. Make people useful. Make yourself useful. Don't just look for people to commiserate with, or like who can be my best drinking buddy or my gossip buddy, because usually those are fickle and fair weather relationships, and sometimes you're on contracts for as long as 6 months to a year with these same people. And you don't want to make it miserable if you don't have to make it miserable. It's a choice that you make. But there's so many people who suffer in bands, and they're just always looking for reasons outside of them and why this isn't working, or if the singer wasn't this way, or if the drummer didn't play like this, or if this person wasn't a kiss ass. All these reasons why they're not having a good experience in the band. Just like figure out how you can make everybody in your band useful to you. You'll have people that you click with and people that you really like, damn, I really like this person, we vibe. But that's not the majority of the time. Not in this cover band world, not in the world where you're actually moving around and you may be joining a band that's already established just as filling in, for this little amount of time. Don't go rushing in, trying to make everybody like you, because sometimes that annoys the shit out of them and they'll just do everything in their power to make your experience that more miserable. Don't be so quick to open up and reveal yourself. I'm not saying be, isolated or standoffish, because that can give them this the impression that you're bougie and you think you're better than them. So that could backfire too. But it's important that you kind of get an idea of who you're working with before you put yourself out there to be in a situation where you're like, oh damn, I didn't see that coming. Like, the less you say, the more people are compelled to fill in the gaps of space, and tell you about themselves. So listen and say, okay, that person could teach me how to do this, or I can learn this skill from that person. I can learn how to do that. I can learn how to read music. I can learn how to play the guitar. I can learn how to make every experience that you have an opportunity for you to grow in some way. And we can always, if we're open to, learn something from another person. Why not, make it as beneficial and useful to you as you can. All right, that's another video from the girl Phoenix Novell. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace out.